dear listeners, welcome to a very special edition of the global exclusive podcast, the Ménage à Trois edition, starring me, Sinzar and Dream. Hey everyone.
Hello.
What's going on?
It's like a fusion of normal podcast.
I'm thinking so hard to try to make that into a dirty joke. I really am, but like it's too late in the evening. I have nothing.
This is the safe recording time.
Yeah, it is.
I know from past experience that that's a lie.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's safer, right? Like it's always you have to compare it to what it could have been. All right, so
That's
yeah. All right, we have a. I was gonna say this was a hype banner, but I don't know. I haven't really felt the cloud hype from people. Maybe you guys have. I don't know.
I think it's like more than the average JP banner, but still very much like overshadowed by the recent Nier and stuff.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
Sinzar?
When they announced like Cloud getting morale stuff, the potential for there to be a lot of hype was there, but now that we know that the morale stuff is not very relevant, it's back to like skippable JP unit for me at least.
Spoiler.
I mean, I think you're exaggerating a bit. Like he's still so far the by far strong. Like he finally somebody beats Golbez, so that's nice. Okay, wait, we're already on to Cloud. Like we haven't even talked about the banner. Okay, calm the fuck down, both of you. So this is the Final Fantasy VII banner, and on it we have 2 units. And I was actually thinking we were going to talk about the better unit first, which is Barrett.
Interesting definition of better right there.
Yeah.
So isn't it a bit surprising Barrett is a tank, or was his old 7-star also a tank?
I'm pretty sure his 7-star was primarily a physical tank with some damage on the side.
Oh,
Which
okay,
is
okay.
also what this one tries to be.
I mean, if we're using the word tank in the loosest definition, then I guess his NVA was.
Oh, wait, he's not even tanky, or what?
It has the tank. I mean, he has the generic cookie cutter physical tank stuff with basically no extra advantages on top of that.
Okay, so he's at least gonna, he's gonna be able to take a hit at least, right?
He meets the physical tank baseline.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, that was definitely a dirty joke. He meets the physical tank baseline. So who is the physical tank baseline?
Really? What?
Because he's meeting it. Sinzar gets it, right, Sinzar?
I would say Runda is the baseline where you compare to.
You pervert! Oh my god! Leave the little robot alone. Jesus!
Barrett does not stand up to Runda by any definition. It's way worse than Runda at tanky.
Yeah. And he does seem to like try to do some damage. He has, but what are you saying? He seems to have decent breaks.
Breaks?
Yeah, but
what?
I mean, offensive breaks.
Decent attack and magic breaks are part of the cookie cutter tank set at this point. They all have them.
Oh, that's true, I guess. Yeah.
That's nothing special or especially good.
But like he breaks attack by 89%. Do all tanks do that?
A lot of them have 87 to 89. Runda's is only 85, but
87
also
now.
Oh, okay. Did he get buffed?
No, he got his story equipment
right.
that gives him 87.
That's an indirect buff. But anyway, the only content where you really need attack and magic breaks tends to be Clash, which has passives, and the difference between like 85 and 90 in Clash is minimal anyway.
Yeah, I guess, but also Trials, right? Like that's, or I mean, yeah.
Yes, but not really.
Trials, you basically all the damage for Spark.
Yeah, man, that's so sad. Okay. This starts off very sad. So unfortunately, Barrett, who's an actually cool character, especially in Final Fantasy VII Remake, I like him, is the obvious troll of the banner. Like, does he even have a good TMR or STMR? Is there anything to be said here?
If you need a big fire or wind resist buff.
Wow. Wow, his STMR is garbage. Oh. Okay.
The unit is just bad.
And is Barrett like is any of these premium actually?
Cloud is Barrett, not.
Oh, okay. So you can actually buy Barrett shards then for the normal price.
Probably.
You really want to, I guess.
No, I'm just asking. Like I wouldn't, but I'm just asking. Or I might like. It will feel shitty not to have an EX1 of an NV you pull. So
yes, his shards are available as standards.
Okay. All right. Well, shame. But nobody's here to listen to us talking about fucking Barrett, and we already started talking about Cloud. So maybe we should jump to Cloud. So let's talk about the sprite first. Weird start, but it's very underwhelming. Or rather, it's the same sprite we've seen like 10 times already in this game.
Well,
So
Barros, you're the master of Luke's. Where's the lewd joke about Cloud's sprite?
What do you mean? Oh, you mean that he's literally holding the sword at it? But that's his stance in Final Fantasy VII. Okay, like it's like they just did it justice. Okay,
it's custom sword.
and like, but you know, the previous NV Cloud at least was trying to do things a bit differently, and they did Bike Cloud as the shift. But now he's just stands in a different stance. It's a bit low effort. I don't know.
Almost like he's quite generic and one-dimensional.
Yeah. It's almost
Pretty
as if
much.
you're describing the character from the video game as well.
That was the idea.
Yeah, I know. Okay. But let's talk about Cloud, because actually
Anyway.
people are hyped about Cloud.
Mm.
Sinzar, you're being unfair because he is the strongest damage dealer in DV. And he's relatively strong. Like, I'm looking at your fucking sheet, Sinzar.
Is he though?
But he's fucking top 3. He's top 3 in Cow, and he's top 1 in DV. How is that not a good pickup?
In a vacuum. Now, if we're talking about a Dark Visions, like if a Dark Visions came out, if we were currently in an unshared Dark Visions that was elementally neutral, and you could bring anything you want, you're not bringing really Cloud because he's Thunder Element. You're going hardcore to Light Element, and you're taking A2, 2B, Surge, and support for those units. Probably Olive.
Suki.
Or like Wilk or something. Like Cloud just doesn't fit. He doesn't fit on the meta Light team. And at the moment, Light is stronger than Lightning. Yes, there is Sylvie, but Sylvie is a 100 amplify, which, let's be honest here, is not good enough anymore. When everyone's bringing a 150, and when 3 of your big hitters on the team are bringing their own 150 amplify, you don't care about Cloud. You're going all in for Light. And because of the Dark Visions party slot, and you're not imbuing him with the Light element, because that would just have his amplify. You can't even bring him because he's getting the flat 20% nerf from being in the wrong element. So in a standalone compared to nothing else, yes, he hits the hardest, but if we're talking about an actual meta team, at the moment he doesn't fit on the best teams in the game. So no, he's really not the strongest.
I mean, yeah,
wait.
Okay, but that is only because the current meta team is Light, right? Like, I mean, you would be saying the same about A2 and 2B if, you know, they had different elements, or if our current meta team wasn't Light. So if another Lightning unit come out soon, it would change. Although I don't know if we're going to get another Lightning unit.
No, because we already know the primary weakness in Clash is Ice. So that's like a soft confirmation the unit of December is going to be Ice focused. And then by the time we get to another, like any kind of movement on DPS creep, it is time for leader skills, which we know is going to start off with Deocius or a global skill. So Cloud is already somewhat power crept. It's weird to say that, him being number 1 saying he's power crept, but realistically, like I said, on an unshared team, he's not going to make the cut. And by the time things shift, he's crept with everyone else as we move the dark mid.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I mean that's like obviously from the score optimizing Whaley sort of perspective, and I mean from the sort of a bit more casual perspective, he does very well still. But I mean from that same perspective, you also don't need the toppest damage dealers anyway. But yeah, I mean if you like him, he does very well still, and is certainly a cut above most JP units.
All right, so I'm going to ask a hot question to you both, not a sexual one, I wish. Is Cloud better than A2?
As a standalone unit?
And yeah, in like raw damage as well. And again, on a light team, super optimized, you're going to use A2 more. But Cloud is certainly nicer to use than A2.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, technically, A2 does a bit more damage than Cloud in Cow, less in, like, they are very close.
Well, if we're talking in Clash, I would definitely take A2 over Cloud, because A2 has morale generation. She can fill, I forget the exact number,
true.
But a certain amount of morale per turn. Cloud cannot.
Yeah, okay, good point. But okay, let's not say he's bad. But since our like it is like you're saying, the future is not bright. That's a pun on light meta now. Just so you know. Okay, but what is this unit then? So interesting. Let's actually hold on. It's interesting that they added morale, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, kind of. It's not something they've really wanted for JP units until now, but I guess it's like an anniversary type thing or something, and they want to try and make this hyped because it was a hyped JP banner.
I mean, they want to make money, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's really the bottom line.
And they know this is an
Excuses to hype
expensive
up
banner,
something.
probably, right? Like it's an expensive banner to bring to the game, and it needs to sell. So the way you make it sell is by giving morale scaling, I guess.
Unfortunately, they kind of failed on that create extra hype with morale thing, or at least people who actually see the math and know this and stuff can tell it's
But I mean,
not
it's still
really
not
a big
bad.
deal.
Like it's not. He's still the third best
But
cow
the thing
DPS.
is, with a 300% LB buff, his LB is still stronger.
Oh,
Exactly.
right. Oh,
And
yeah, I remember you saying that on the Discord. So actually, what you would do is you would burst with his LB in cow.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's not actually his strongest burst option.
Oh,
and
It-
the thing is, those big numbers you see for Cloud are including his 150 amplify, which you're going to use on the LB burst. So all the follow-up turns where you're his finisher, like they're going to be still good and all, but you're not going to have that 150 amp anymore. So his damage drops dramatically. Whereas someone like Sky is bursting for the same amount every single turn, or as often as you fill her LB.
yeah.
Well, not so much when you're considering 100% external amp and their limited durations as well, but
Oh yeah,
they can still
that's
at
true.
least do the full burst twice with Sylvie. But no, it does like decently improve his sustained off damage stuff in Clash
Yeah.
for like closing out a fight after the first burst, but it's pretty minor.
Okay, it's something at least, but
Yeah.
if they were gonna do like, I agree that they could have done it
Doesn't
better,
change anyone.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. So the thing here is when people ask for like JP units to be viable in Clash, it's not so much that we just wanted their damage to be, Clash relevant, because some of them, their damage is Clash relevant. The thing is they need to be good in the environment of Clash. Like I mentioned with A2. A2 on every off turn is filling 600 morale gauge for the party. Cloud is doing nothing in his off turn. That's the core problem here.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if you're not bringing fucking Chow, you actually need that. I remember last cow was still tight to get to 0% on the burst turn I wanted to burst on, which was 6, or tight. Like, I had to use these skills that the units had. If I hadn't, I wouldn't get there.
I mean, at least for Clash, gearing is good as a JP Prim. Like, he's got the 200% Omni Killers and the decent passive bulk and whatnot. So, like, at least he gears well and is only soft locked to an element
Yeah.
rather than fully hard locked like most other JP
No,
units.
I think it's a
So
big.
he's certainly, yeah, he's still got some things going for him, but
Yeah, for sure. I mean, hey, like, okay, let's. We just had Xenogears, right? Like, Xenogears fans got fucked up the asshole by Gumi. All right, that's what happened. Like, let's not kid that anything else happened. Yeah, yes, I recognize the feeling very well, and. Cloud, like Final Fantasy 7 fans or Final Fantasy 7 R fans, definitely got a really good unit. Like, if you're simping for Final Fantasy 7 R, you got a fantastic fucking unit. But if you're a Xenogears fan, you got a fucking wet slap to the face.
Yeah, like Cloud is still a good unit. Don't get me wrong. As much as I'm like downplaying him, I'm downplaying him from an aspect of someone that has access to most of the top units. It's like if my entire roster is laid out in front of me and I'm picking 6 of them to go into a team, he's not going to make the cut. Only because I have the number 1, 2, and 3 best, and he's not quite there. But for someone that doesn't have literally like all the best units, for example, both the recent near units, like Cloud could ease his way onto a Clash team and do well.
yeah.
But
I mean, like in that scenario of say picking 6 from everything, he would probably be like the 8th or 9th pick, maybe.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
it's still very close to the top.
So
even if
just
he's
just
not
out
quite.
of curiosity, did any of you two pull for it?
Nope.
I did
I'm
not.
poor after near.
Yeah.
I've considered some tickets to try my luck for him. I haven't yet. I might do that on the last day. But the only reason is not because I want him for Clash, only because I'm like slightly scarred from the Crisis Core event on JP that is running right now, meaning it's about 6 months away from Global. So if I got a Cloud with a ticket, 1 copy in the Shard Dungeon in 6 months, he'll be EX3 and ready for Crisis. That's the only reason I'm considering.
Okay, wow. And now you need to tell us what is going on. What happened?
The Crisis Core stuff, it is, there's 3 EX fights. They're all pretty challenging. 2 of them are hard locked to Final Fantasy VII. And I do have Cloud on JP, and it was still a struggle. And then one of them is not locked, but for all the missions, you have to bring Final Fantasy VII only. And I didn't even do that on JP because I really could. Honestly, I couldn't. I was going to say maybe I could, but no, I couldn't because I didn't have Zack. The reason not so much Cloud, but Cloud EX3 would have been a big help if I did have him.
Okay. So you're saying that the old Cloud is no longer viable. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, the very first Neovision ever? No, he is not viable.
He has already not been viable for a long time.
Yeah. No crowns, no upgrades, no nothing.
He did get upgraded at that point. I forget when,
Yeah,
but they converted
I
his
think
up.
it was with like when Sephiroth and Tifa came out. He got like a lot of flat attack from gear and stuff, and I think some skill upgrades. But yeah, that's still a long time ago and not relevant anymore.
All right. So good unit. Good unit might be this Crisis Core need for it in 6 months. So if you get one, you're not gonna cry. And I guess that's it, right?
One thing, just as like a mechanical note that people might not realize, like he has a innate version of Tidus's STMR buff that gives 100x LB mod for the first 5 turns. So obviously he doesn't need Tidus STMR because those 2 buffs are the exact same buff, so they will not stack.
Yeah.
So you don't want to use Tidus STMR.
Yeah, Sinzar, you mentioned this a couple of times on the news day as well. The kind of from now on, premiums will have an innate Tidus STMR buff, and non-premiums will not, and they will need Tidus STMR
for the physicals.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
One more thing you can kind of mention about Cloud, almost like he does have the biggest greatsword in peril in the game currently, %, which can be an overall buff to your team. That being said, I wouldn't pull him for that reason because Dionysius has the exact same greatsword in peril, and he will be at least at the current time, probably a more beneficial pull if you want to pull for that reason.
Greatsword isn't exactly the most favored weapon type.
Yeah, I was gonna
now.
say, like, I was super disappointed that A2 didn't get a greatsword for her STMR or something, because like it feels weird putting a katana on her. I never played A2 with a katana in the game. Come on.
No, that is a wonderful thing, and I am sick to death of global exclusive units. Every single one has a weapon STMR. It is the most boring, lazy design. It was so refreshing that A2 did not have a weapon STMR, and I'm glad she did.
Man, come on. Like, it would be so nice if, like, we got an upgrade of, like, Beast King or something like that. That would be so good.
I would agree with you, Sinzar, if neither of them got one, but the fact that 2B, the one who has a katana in peril, got an STMR katana that is worse than the DV one for her because it doesn't have enough flat attack, while A2, who has a greatsword in peril, doesn't get a weapon and really wants to use the DV katana. It just doesn't mesh well at all between the two of them.
I mean, she has 0 options. That's what I think is fucked. Like, there's really no other good... Like, there's no good greatsword right now. Like, everything pales in comparison with a katana.
I mean, there's just no good physical weapon, period, except the katana.
Yeah.
And STMR ones that give you flat attack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, if you're not using that one katana, you kind of need a STMR weapon that gives flat attack.
But yeah, okay. All right, so what else did we get this week except for this banner? We got... Oh, yeah, so Sinzar, before the podcast started, you had some type of PTSD from the Reno event on JP, but it seems to be different in GL, right?
Yes, I complained about this or mentioned it in my news thing. I think I did on our news video as well. In any case, yes, on JP, the free units are like cancer to farm. They take an excessive amount of energy and running. On global, they seem to have significantly cut down on the farming needs. So on JP, with a maximized bonus, you get 9 fragments per run at 50 energy. On global, it seems to be 30 energy per run, and I was getting 28 fragments per. So it's less energy, significantly less farming, and it's great. Global, this is one of the great things about global that they do, is they always cut down on the pure tediousness that JP loves to add to the game. For example, like
the unit upgrades, yo.
No, they don't do good on that. But like, for example, like the Mog King.
No, I'm just saying they're cutting down on those too.
Yeah. But like the Mog King overhaul, JP made it horrible, added EX bonuses. It's not nearly as bad on global. Same thing here. So on JP, it's cancer to farm these free units. On global, I made 3 copies of EX, all 3 of them EX3, just because it took me maybe 15 minutes to maximize all 3 and not that much energy, because it was a lot easier on global. And that's, a huge thank you to the global team for doing that.
So outside of fucking... Oh, sorry, Dream, go ahead.
2 days. I haven't even started the FF7. I still have to grind Xenogears.
Yeah, same here. I haven't even touched FF7 yet either. I have, or not the Reno stages. I did the Vision World. So okay, but sell me. Why do I need more Renos outside of bonus?
You don't. Oh no, Reno's a bad unit. He is literally just for bonus. And making 3 EX3s will not help you in Vision World because you can only bring 1 anyway. I did that only in case they bring the Mog Final Fantasy 7 event, which they're probably going to bring with Yuffie when she eventually comes. Also, he'll be a bonus unit in the Crisis way down the road. So it's just more bonus units EX3, and it costs like I don't know the exact amount, but let's just say 300 energy to max all 3 of them. So I'm like, whatever.
Also, with the Reno stage and stuff, it seems like they have now, like, Silver Crowns and stuff are now in the data potentially, but they've still cut them from the stage.
Okay. So, but we might still get the Silver Crown treatment soon. Let's see. I mean,
possibly because Reno's actual upgrades, like the enhancements themselves, have also been delayed. But it would be weird to replace the Silver Crowns on his stage for them and then add another source of them.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, and here we are also playing with a very dangerous assumption that Gumi would ever add crowns for a unit into the game. So, it's like, it's all very hypothetical. But okay. I guess like it's good to get a couple of bonus units, as you're saying, Sinzar. There's a couple of events coming up, so if it's not too bad to farm, you can just get a couple of Renos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you get like, is this a new unit or is this an upgrade of an old unit?
Reno?
Yeah.
No, he's a Neo Vision Awakening actually, but he's in an event unit. We got one years ago. We got another one a few years ago, and then this is the 3rd one. So if you played for all of them, you can make a...
Yeah, and didn't sell them for Gil. Just saying.
Yeah,
it's an old event 5-star.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's talk about the Vision World then. So there was a bit of controversy as I understood it, with this Vision World, because this event came out during the anniversary in JP, right? And everyone got 10k immediately or some shit. Did I understand that correctly? Can someone correct me?
It was like it's one of those campaigns they hold that are rigged to always seed. So basically, everyone got 10k. Yeah, it was like, if you clear the final boss across the X amount of times, everyone gets 10k. And of course, they hit the milestone and got it. So yes, it was that. And then it was also ranking. So the controversy you're probably talking about is people, anyone that ranked enough to get Lapis from ranking rewards, I think is like 3,000 and above, wherever the Lapis starts, you would get your ranking rewards plus 10k.
Right.
On global, we're getting just 10k. So if you're ranked like, let's say you get ranked 75, you're not getting a total of 15k, the 5k rank plus 10k. You're getting just 10k. So it's technically a nerf for anyone that ranks highly, for anyone that ranks lowly, but is still able to get rank 1 in Vision World. It's a buff. Well, actually, at that point, it's just equal.
Because to be clear, it was not cappable in JP, while in GL it should be.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So this Vision World, we were discussing it just before, also has another new thing for us in GL. Not new at this point, I guess, in JP, but is the fact that Cloud is artificially stronger in this Vision World through a series stat boost, right?
Oh, that's been here for a long time. Yeah, we've done that before.
In Vision World?
Had that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it is
Xenogears?
just for Vision Worlds, whereas I think JP, at least for quite a while, gave random extra stat buffs in most of the DVs as well.
Oh, okay. I completely missed this has been a thing in previous Vision Worlds. Really?
Yeah, the thing is, the Vision Worlds are easy to cap. It's like, who cares? But yeah, like Xenogears, like the Xenogears Vision World, like, Faye and Id got a stat buff, but it's so easy, it's like no one cares.
Yeah, all the past ones have been quite easy to cap, even compared to like the other capable.
All right. Okay. So, but you were saying, Sinzar, you were doing some calculations, and on this Vision World, on the final boss, to cap it, you need 10 billion something, right? And A Whaled Out 2B did 4.5 alone.
Yes.
Which
Based on JP stats, now we do have the data mine for the score requirement. So the score requirement is 10.7. What we don't know until it goes live is if they altered the boss's stats. Assuming it's exactly the same as JP, which is 2 million defense and spirit, then yes. My 2B calculates at doing about 4.5 billion on average.
Right. So that's to me that sounds tough, because if your 2B does 4.5 billion, my 2B by experience is going to do 0.5, because like I'm always the person crying in Discord. I'm like, Sinzar, why the fuck are my units not doing damage? What is happening?
Yeah, based on tuning, or based on calculations, this one does seem to be probably the hardest shareable Vision World we've ever had yet. That said, I don't think it's going to be too extremely challenging, but it seems like just at early glance, it's not going to be the auto-assume free win for everyone that just participates.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the
So
Xeno
far it's
Gears
been
was.
like free 10k if you just try, or if you
Yes.
just try significantly hard, right? But now it might be that yeah, you're gonna have to try and have some really good units.
Exactly. It seems that way, but again, that's based on JP stats, which it could come out on tomorrow, and all of a sudden it has 500,000 defense, and it's easy for everybody. So we don't know yet.
Yeah, okay, that would be nice, but let's see. Okay, yeah, because like I'm just slowly looking at the DV burst sheet and wondering who you would bring, and I guess like the Niers and Golbez, I guess everyone is bringing, maybe.
Not me. My preemptive or setup team is going to be A2, 2B, Chizuru as my big damage dealers, Wilk as a breaker and wannabe damage dealer.
Chizuru doesn't do damage anymore.
She does. She does decent, and she's mostly for the chain score, honestly.
She does like half the damage of fucking A2 and 2B.
Yes, but when A2 and 2B are both doing approximately 4.5, I only need about one more, and that's going to be Chizuru.
Okay, fine.
And then the last two slots are going to be Premium Return Fina for the light support, or really the light field and LB buff is all she, because they all bring their own. Actually, no, Chizuru needs an amplify. So yeah, and then Rosa for a 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if I was going to bring Olive, but Olive is even further behind. The only benefit of Olive is actually being able to give her 100% amp.
Well, if you're bringing Golbez, you absolutely...
Yeah, for the break.
True. But then who the fuck gets the 100% amp? Well, Golbez, obviously.
What amp?
The light amp.
Well, if you're doing 100% light amp in the card, and Golbez can't wear the card...
Yeah.
Oh, shit, yeah, that's a good point. Okay.
If you're using Golbez and Olive, you probably want to bring Sylvie for an AoE 100%.
Go with a different element.
Use that as well.
Yeah, maybe. I would like to be able to use light, though, because like A2 and 2B, but...
With your light team, Sinzar, I'm wondering if because Chiz will only have the AoE light amp for Fina, whether it's actually worth mixing in her 100% going dual element with her, since as the DV party buff is always full strength.
I could do that. I didn't calculate it. Truthfully speaking, for my team, I think it's going to be not mattering that much, because Wilk's going to also do like 1 billion. But when I start optimizing it for the sake of guides and making it easier for other people, that's absolutely something I do need to calculate. It's a good tip.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the field amp just counts as part of the normal, so it should be a 12.5% effective increase from 75 to 87.5.
Okay, calm down with the math. Okay, calm down with this math. I understand nothing.
And also, same thing applies to Barros and your team. If you're doing AoE Sylvie amp for Olive and Golbez, you could still do the 150 amps of the near units, and they just average out to 125, which is probably still a gain overall.
Yeah, but then I'm not bringing a field for them, though.
Yeah, this is a general reminder that mixed elements in DV can still be beneficial sometimes for higher amp.
Yeah, but I am very like I don't know. I would love to bring Regina as well, and now it becomes tricky. So let's see what I can cook up. I mean, I was half thinking I'm just gonna bring my Xenogears units. Like I didn't pull any of the new ones, but I'm just gonna clear this shit with fucking Graf and id.
Well, you don't have to use
Graf's
if you don't
not gonna get you cap at least.
Yeah, if you don't want to use a near, that's totally fine. You can definitely do a Regina team. I'm pretty sure this will still cap like Olive, Regina, Golbez, and 3 supports. That'll probably still hit the damage cap. I don't know for sure, but
but what about Regina and 5 supports? All right, because that's the only team comp that matters when you talk about Regina.
Isn't Regina's ice skill one hit, which means literally impossible because you got to do 10.7.
Oh shit, yeah.
It is 3 hits.
No, it
but
is
the
3
way
hits actually. It can hit 10. I hit 14 billion. You hit 13 billion with it once, Sinzar. So yes, it
Oh, okay.
can. But then it has to like
from-
grossly overcap though. That's the problem.
Because from memory, with the weighting on it is like 10, 10, 80. So it technically maxes at 22, but after 12, it scales much, much slower. But if the cap's 10.7, that won't be a factor.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I'm definitely trying a Regina team anyway. That's just common sense because my Regina is EX3 in 2 days, so or 3, depending on how lucky I am with the shards.
Nice.
Okay, but have we exhausted everything about this week? I feel exhausted.
I guess the one other thing you can mention is Galvanite, if you wanted to talk about it, just because it's new.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I have no idea what this is. I saw it in the Vision World Rewards. Is it the stuff for the Esper overcapping?
Yeah. So
Oh.
Galvanite is a new, exceedingly rare material that you can only get from high scoring in Dark Vision or Vision World, but this is the last Vision World as compared to. So you have to rank high in Dark Visions to get it. There's 4 new nodes on Siren and Ifrit. They'll also be added to Ramu and Shiva in the future. That's all JP currently has. And these allow you to overcap your killers. Your passive killers can go above 300% for bird or beast. It's very expensive.
To 350, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like such a that's so small.
It's overall.
It's
It's not super impactful. And on JP, I have yet to spend a single Galvanite because they're just too rare. It's like crowns. I'm not gonna spend them. But
isn't it like every other rare resources in FFB work like this? They are rare for a month, and then you have like an infinite amount of them.
Yep, that's kind of how crowns are now.
A lot of the recent ones have stayed reasonably rare. Like crowns, maybe not quite so much now in JP, but they stayed rare for quite a long time. Stuff like the Emperor Cactus is still moderately...
Yeah, those are still fairly rare. Yeah.
And blank Prism Rugals.
Okay, but that's actually the only rare resource in this game. That's actually true. I wasted all of mine on the Xenogears banner to get multiple of IDs TMR, and now I got an ID as well. So
also, the one thing with this Vision mode, the dark matter amounts have finally been buffed. What they should have been for like a year at this point by JP.
Okay, that's nice.
2,000 at the top bracket instead of 800. Of course, nothing to actually compensate for the backlog, but
yeah,
it's something.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one thing to buy for this shit anyway. I guess 2 things if you also want to max out your Golbez, but like it's only the sword and the katana, and then
they're both worth. But like if JP adds another set of 3,
but have they?
Not yet.
So you mean I have 6 months of grinding, so I have another infinite amount of this shit before they drop the next 3? Okay.
I mean, even if at 2k a month top bracket, they're releasing 30k worth of weapons at a time.
Well, true. Okay, but so far it's not 30k of relevant weapons though. So
yeah, but also in JP, they're making the one-handers relevant. And for example, the upgraded Tifa now wants to use the Dark Vision's fist, as an option.
I mean, wouldn't technically, at least for Fist specifically, Berserker Riku STMRs be better unless they've buffed it further?
Oh yeah, those are 300 now. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. Those would work too.
Yeah,
that'd work.
So speaking of Berserker Riku, is somebody gonna do a cool video where she caps this Vision World? That'd be really.
Honestly, it's from JP. I doubt it does enough attacks to trigger her.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, looking at the AI, there's only one AoE. It's a single AoE magical dark attack. So yeah, I doubt that's enough, especially at 2 million defense. So Riku probably cannot soul cap.
Damn it!
Because absolute max with cover and 2 Blizzard Orbs both activating on every attack, that's 12 attacks. Yeah, that's probably not enough.
Yeah, okay. A shame. Yeah, this is how they nerf Riku. They just do shit bosses from JP. Fuck.
I don't even think JP ever even used this strat.
The Riku strat?
JP has... Actually...
There weren't really ways to give her cover as much.
I mean, we have Behemi, which does a lot, right?
Yes, and...
Not really.
And JP does have Zzat, which can, if the multicast trick works, I guess you could have in JP. maybe just no one thought of it.
Well, isn't the only reason to use Behemi over like Rivera for EX levels in Cow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
Well,
saying,
and actual tanking up until Riku takes over.
well, yeah, but
but
I'm saying is in JP we don't have like Rivera or Emperor Fu to
there's
grant
not
cover.
even. I was thinking there was still one option, but maybe not.
Yeah, no one in JP grants cover naturally. But if the multicast bug lets you Zzat's cover on Re in JP, then it would probably work.
Just something.
Wait,
they've never
didn't
done,
the
really.
Final Fantasy 12 units grant cover, or was that just provoke?
Just provoke, I think.
Oh, okay.
Provoke.
But yeah, I guess even way back at Illusionist Nicole, that was GLEX as well.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we can play around with these cool mechanics. But as the price for that is that our units do not get fucking upgraded. Jesus, I'm still so mad about that for the Xenogears banner. Like, oh my god, like not even a little, right? Like, I mean, Graf and Id, like, are they even on your list? Because like they probably do like no damage.
Id wouldn't have made the list even on day one of his unit.
And to be fair, JP didn't even upgrade Graph.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. But they did upgrade Id, right? Like Id got something.
They
Id
did.
and Faye got crowned.
Yeah, and his LB got really high. He does still suffer the problem of being unarmed, which is not good.
Yeah.
Period.
But like he could have been at least usable, right? Like now it's a dead slot, like, or it's a dead unit, which is shame because it's a fantastic looking unit in both the Brave Shift and the base form. Yeah, Sag. I think we've exhausted this week. Again, as I said just like 20 minutes ago, I am exhausted.
Got sneak peeks for us for Christmas next week.
It'll be ice. Based
Yeah,
on the
I can
class
give you the
review.
sneak peek dream. It's gonna be Regina's fucking 100% or 150% amp. Okay, that's what's gonna happen.
Ready for 150 self-only amp.
So here's the question: if Regina did get a 100 amplify, would she be meta? Would she be relevant?
I mean, according to your sheet, she would be like top. Just saying.
Would she? No, that's a legitimate question. I don't know. I didn't actually check.
I think it obviously wouldn't be applicable to all situations, but yeah, I think she'd be a pretty top choice in some, though it would be probably better to run her in like a half supported team comp rather than a full one. Again, alongside.
Yeah,
like,
but I'm
Olive
just
and
looking at
Golbez.
Sinzar's numbers for one helper, right? Like one helper, Regina is top 7, I think, or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like, assuming we did get an AOE ice amplify and the whole party, like, would Regina be worth the slot even if just like one person is buffing her?
Well, that would it would buff her personal damage by about 33%, 35%.
She would go from 45 to 100.
Yeah, so 1.45 to 2 is a multiplier. So
well, that's not technically true because she probably has some fields already and so on. But yeah, although those would still apply, but they would be less worth.
I'm just going to.
Yeah,
I
think she'd end up second behind Cloud at a bit of napkin maths, but above A2 and Golbez and.
Yeah, with her amp on my sheet changed to 100, she goes to 290, which is above A2 and directly behind Cloud.
Oh my god, please let this happen, Kumi. Oh my god, that would be so good. Oh, but I mean, it's not gonna happen because we all know that it's gonna be like fucking Eldrin, and he's just gonna have a 150 self amp.
Are you looking forward towards Tiana and or Eldrin getting an intrinsic that costs 12k and is totally worthless?
Well, they stopped doing the 12k ones, but it'll cost 3 crowns and be totally worthless.
Yeah,
because
but what if
only the anniversary ones are allowed to be?
It could be like, I mean, it could be like a what I could see is it being an intrinsic for an old unit that would do the 100% single target amp. That could be interesting. Because we don't have that. JP doesn't even have that. That could be just an interesting skill to have. It wouldn't be broken. It would make Regina really good, though.
Who's a Christmas support to actually give it to?
That would make sense on Christine because she already has like Grant ice stuff.
Yeah, but she's NVA.
NVA.
We don't have, like, I mean, you wouldn't call Eldrin a support. The only thing he had was like beast killers.
All the Christmas stuff's been damage dealers, really.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic, given the theming of the holiday.
And Kryla is light and dark, and she's an NVA, so.
And breaking more than buffing.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe it's a new unit, because Tiana isn't fucking ice, so she's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, there probably will be a new unit and a crown, and an IA rather.
Yeah.
But
So let's see. I mean, I would still love for somebody to have a 100% single target amp, at least for Regina, because then, if she gets up to those levels and it's a fight. Well, she's still hard ice locked, right? Like, that's a huge drawback still.
for her good mod, yeah.
Like, but it's like, it's still going to be really, really good when you can use ice because you're literally bringing 6 of the strongest unit in the game. And that's nice. Oh, well, enough Regina talk.
Mistaken, yeah, the next Dark Visions, like actual Dark Visions final boss, is locked to ice as one of the elements.
Oh my god, this is so exciting.
We'll see if they keep all those element locks, but
they did last time.
I mean, what if this could be Regina's time to shine? I mean, she's already a great unit, so don't get me wrong, but this could be her time to actually shine. I mean, I'm still bringing her to the Vision World for sure. All right, listen. We've talked about everything except the banner. I feel like, what do you think? Like, on average, this episode was like 20 minutes banner and then 40 minutes random ass talk and Sinzar changing his sheets to check if Regina does damage, if potentially we get a light amp, ice amp. Yeah.
Cloud should feel honored that his episode was more than 5 minutes, as it should have been.
Oh, yeah. I still think you're being a bit unfair to Cloud, but sure.
I think it was nice to talk a bit more about like some of future JP stuff and how things shape up.
Yeah. And and speaking of which, I'm gonna put in a little teaser for the people because we were talking about doing also a Christmas episode on the day before Christmas Eve, so that's this coming Friday. And one thing I was thinking of asking you to do is, come in with like your 3 favorite units right now with good motivation. And Sinzar, it cannot be the 3 top damage dealers because fuck you, okay? You need to actually like bring your favorite units, okay?
I'm not sure if it's me or if Barros is dying.
Am I dying? I mean,
your microphone cut out. It could be just on my end, maybe.
I'm just you die from the moment you're born, so probably.
Anyway, I think that's enough for today.
Yeah, got real dark real fast. Okay, thanks though for joining Sinzar, a bit unusual, and thanks Dream for showing up, even though I'm the one that's usually not showing up. But hey,
glad to be here.
Skip. Now actually upload this one, unlike last week.
Yes, I will. But also we don't have we need to have a dirty joke and then somebody cutting me off at the end. That's usually what we do. I'm just too tired to think of a dirty joke.
No,
but we do though. That's kind of like that's what people listen to.
When we end it.
Well, I mean, I could have ended it earlier already.
I don't have one.
We'll assume it's ended by now.
Okay, what did you not have in hand, Sinzar?
Exactly.